Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. And today we have the last episode of our analytics series, the session on Design Your First Dashboard by Abhinav Garg. Abhinav, as you might already know from our past sessions, Abhinav is an awesome speaker. He's been helping us out and giving these awesome sessions on the Einstein analytics. And today we will be going for a design your first dashboard. Abhinav, can you let's go to the next slide. Okay, Abhinav, would you like to take this up?
Yeah, sure, Sagar. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Very good morning. As Sagar mentioned, this is our last and third session in of Einstein Analytics, Design Your First Dashboard. So, before starting, let me give my small introduction. My name is Abhinav Garg. Uh, I'm having 9 years of experience and working in TCS currently. And first session, we took it like to understand what is Einstein, what are the four uh, pillars of Einstein. Then in the second session, we try to understand how to create data sets, what are the multiple ways to create data sets, how we can manipulate or transform the data based on the requirement. And now in this session, we will see how to create a dashboard or what are the best practices to do it. So those maybe someone is joining very first time or they have not joined the recent first and second session. So I would urge to there them. Let's go. We can share the URL with you and you can see it. So let me give a small introduction about Einstein again. So Salesforce Einstein Analytics, or now it is a part of WCRM. So it is a cloud-based platform. Okay, and this is mainly a tool which we are using to explore or just to manipulate the data and showing it in a visualization, or we are calling it as dashboard here, right? So like if we compare why do we have Salesforce Einstein Analytics, whether we do have Salesforce core reports, right? So reports and dashboards having a lot of limitations if someone is comparing with EA, and I write it down a very only one difference, like we can import data from other systems as well in Salesforce Einstein, whether it's SAP, any system. There are many other differences also, but if someone is asking and like already we do have a reporting structure in Salesforce, then why do we need EA or Einstein Analytics? So this is like one of the difference here. So the prerequisite for this session, I would expect from everyone like they know about a basic understanding about EA and uh, aware of how to create data sets in Einstein, either of like creating from Excel or from CSV file, from Salesforce objects, or any third-party system, let's say SAP or ServiceNow. So these are the prerequisites for this session. Okay. So let's start. Like think in this way. You are new to this Einstein Analytics, okay, and your manager or there's a requirement from the client. You have to create a new dashboard. So there are few rules to create or to design the dashboard, which I mentioned here based on my experience, and um, so we will discuss all these points here. So when the first rule says define the purpose of the dashboard. So what does it mean define? This is a theoretical part in initial 5 to 10 minutes. Then we will see a practical also. Okay. So what is the purpose of the dashboard? So I have categorized in two different sections: operational dashboard and analytical dashboard. So what does it mean exactly? Operational dashboard is something like which will give you the current stage. Based on that, you will take action quickly. So as I mentioned, it's a digital control room designed to help users by quick, proactive, and efficiently. So let's say if your case got escalated and you are a agent, then you can take action accordingly or quickly. Or if dashboard is representing this case could escalate in next tomorrow or day after tomorrow, then you can take action. And what is analytical dashboard? Analytical dashboard is something like where you will analyze your data, or like last 10 months of data, last 12 months of data. So where you are analyzing it, okay, we are doing in this way from last 12 months, we are not generating expected revenue, and then you are taking a decision. So analytical dashboard generally used by more senior management people from the company. Operational dashboard are sometimes like sales reps or case agents, they are using operational dashboard. So first define the purpose of the dashboard, to whom you are going to create it. What is the audience for that particular dashboard? Okay. So second rule, choose the right representation for the data. So what does it mean? There are many different visualization of the data, right? Or there are different charts, I would say. So what does it mean? Different charts. We do have, if you can see in this screenshot, we do have these many chart types in Einstein. Okay, so what if you are showing a data where you are just representing the revenue for each month? Then which type of data or which type of chart you should use? So with respect to time, let's say in January, I have booked a $1 billion contracts. Then in February, I booked around $1.2 billion. So each month you are booking your revenue some of some amount. Then which chart type you should use? So basically, or like the ideal chart we do have is timeline chart. So respect to time, what is your number? So choose the right representation for the data. Let's say you when you have a target, right? When you have a target, let's say your target is $1 billion for this current year 2020, and you are in November month now. So to show how much you have achieved out of 100%, in those scenarios you have uh, different charts. I will show you, and we are calling it as gauge, polar gauge, and we do have other two gauges as well. So third rule is follow clear and consistent naming convention and consistent date formatting. This is very important, I would say, when it comes to when we are showcasing our dashboard to the client. So uh, the font size, the color size, the way you are giving the labels for each KPIs should be consistent. Sometimes you are giving a text size of one KPI, let's say total pipeline value of text size 18, color is blue, and in other KPI you're giving some different font size and color. So follow it. It should be consistent everywhere in all the KPIs and in all other dashboards also. Next point is don't try to place all the information on the same page. So what does it mean is don't show all the KPIs in one page. We do have a navigation concept, or we do have a in a normal term we can say pagination concept in Einstein. I'll show you. So we can segregate our KPIs, which will give more interactive experience to the user, and they will understand and analyze the information also. If you will show all 10, 20 KPIs in just one dashboard, so it would be hard to read from a user perspective. So don't try to place all the information on the same page. Uh, next rule is most important widgets and data components are effectively presented in a limited space. So what does it mean? If you can see this screenshot here, I do have monthly summary, invoice amount, priority, expose, all these. But here in total earnings, I have showing in the bold letters with some different size here. So most important widgets or your data components show in a highlighted or in a different from the other KPIs in a different representation, which will attract when you are loading the dashboard. So you will see your most important KPIs in a second, or it will look very interactive or attractive to you. Round your numbers. So what does it mean, round your numbers? Don't show it. It depends on the client also, but maximum or the best practices should say, don't, if you have to show in decimal also, then till 2 decimal values it's fine in maximum KPIs. Otherwise, round your numbers, because if you, sometimes we are not focusing it, we have done a huge calculation or complex calculation based on the requirement, but we have not seen, or we have not focused about to round the numbers. So round your numbers also, because otherwise it will come from the client or from anyone, from the user side. uh, Next rule for dashboard creation: optimize for multiple devices. Create a dashboard for desktop for sure, but create for mobile, for tablets, and we do have very easy way to create an Einstein. It's just a point and click, no coding, nothing is required to do that. Be careful with colors. So what does it mean? So colors plays a vital role while creating a dashboard. It should be consistent. It should show some glance of your client. Okay, and it should not be like should not, it should be very attractive in a way where you can see the numbers behind it, or where you can read the numbers behind it very clearly. So if you can see in this screenshot as well, my numbers are in black color, and the background color is in white. So the number I am able to read it very clearly. So be careful with colors. And the last rule, never stop evolving. So daily we got to know, we got to see a lot of new things are coming in every releases, or any colleague or anywhere over the LinkedIn or Google. If you got to know something, then try to implement it, and continuously evolving while creating in dashboard creation. So let's see, in the screen. So I'm expecting, do you know lens and dashboard, but just for better understanding, I'm expecting everyone knows how to create a data set, what is data set, and let me give one minute introduction about data set also. So data set is nothing but a data which we are manipulating or transforming based on our requirement. And the data source for our Einstein, it's either we are pushing from CSV files locally from the system. Second, we are pulling from the Salesforce objects. And third, we are pulling from some other systems using connectors. So after complete transformation and manipulation of data, once we registered that data in Einstein, we are calling it as data set. Similar to like we are calling it as table in SQL Server, or Salesforce objects in Salesforce code or in our CRM. Our data set has been created. Now to see what do we have in the data set. So that particular information we can see, or we can play with that data using, called it as lens. So as it is mentioned, when we explore the data set, it means we have opened the data set as a new lens. So when we open the data set, it becomes a new lens. Now in that new lens, we will play with the data. And once we are done with the data, I'll show you what does it mean playing with the data. Or I would say, like I am having all globally data, okay, in our data set, but I just wanted to show population of India only. Then I will put some filters there. So it, and then I'll put it into a dashboard. So let me show you now, and let me know if okay. So everyone, I'm expecting everyone knows about how to create data set and know about Einstein. So this is my data set, okay. So I'm creating my first dashboard here. Okay, so this is our dashboard screen. Okay, and let me delete this part also. So this is our blank dashboard as of now. So design your first dashboard. Let's see what are the options we do have in this dashboard screen here, or where we are creating a dashboard. So we do have in this canvas, which is in the format of tiles here. Okay. On the left hand side, we do have all the widgets. Uh, all the widgets means like if we want to put a chart over the dashboard, we want to put a table, filter, dates, all are very important to create a dashboard, and each widget plays very important role uh, in in creating or in achieving our requirement. So I'll show you all these what widgets means. On the right hand side here, as of now, this is our empty dashboard. So what does it mean now? I have created a data set, right? Let's say I have created a data set, demo data one. And as we have discussed, when we open this data set, it comes into the form of called as lens. So when I created a data set, it opened in the form of lens here. Now we will play with the data, right? As I mentioned it. So I hope you are aware of what is dimension and measure. So let me tell you who, if someone is new in this session. So we do have measures and dimension. So what does it mean? Let's say we do have a data, country and population. Okay. So what is? Let me create it for you. So let's say we do have this very small two columns data. So let's say country India and then America 100 and 200. So this is my data set, just two rows and two columns. So this country, we will call it as dimension. Why? Like the alphanumeric or the alphanumeric words, we are calling it as dimension. And on the numbers or on numerical numbers, we are calling it as measures. Or there is one more definition, where we are able to do calculation or we can perform our mathematical operations, that we are calling it as measures. And other than this, we are calling it as dimension. So here I can do a calculation 100 multiplied by 10 or divide by 10, right? But I cannot do any calculation or any maths on this India or in America. So this we are calling it as dimension, and this is calling it as measure. So your measure part in the lens comes under in your bar length section. So it shows count of rows. It means I am having total 6570 rows in my data set here. And so what does it mean? If I could have upload this particular data, right, then I do have two rows here, right? So it could have shown me here count of rows two. And out of that, one is my measure and one is my dimension here. Now let then I so these are the aggregate functions we are calling it: sum, average, maximum, minimum. So if I required sum of revenue, I can click here sum of revenue. So as of now, I am seeing sum of revenue for all the rows, right? But if there's a requirement, I just wanted to see only for country, let's say uh, Brazil, then I can put a filter here. So now I can say for Brazil, my sum of revenue is $91 million. So out of complete global data, or like out of 40 different countries, I filtered out the data only for Brazil. So this is from the complete data set. I filtered out the data based on my requirement. Now this was my requirement. I have created a lens. Now let's come to the dashboard. So as we have seen, this is the blank dashboard as of now. So I have to bring this lens. Now let's follow or let's see all the best practices. So when okay, from this Caesar key, you can clip the lens or you can clip this chart into your dashboard here. So how to clip it? on the top right side, you will see this icon which is look like a scissor. You can clip it and you can give the name here. So as we are showing the revenue of Brazil, so we can say like Brazil revenue. Once I clipped it and I'll come to the dashboard, you can see here I do have Brazil underscore revenue. So this is my lens and this is having the sum of revenue for the country called as Brazil. Now I have to show it. So there are multiple ways. Now, as we discussed, choose the correct representation or the correct chart here. So look, there are multiple ways. I have okay. So these are my widgets from the right left hand side. I selected a chart, okay, and then I put this lens or I dropped in this one. So the one way to show your sum of revenue for Brazil is in this way. Now, the best way or like the most generally used, we can use number as well because it's just a number. I can select again and I can put it here. So it shows sum of revenue 91 million. So that's why I mentioned choose the correct or the right representation of the data. Both are correct. 91 million and here also numbers are same. We are showing the same data, but correct or choose the correct representation. Now every widget, I'll showcase. We will see all the widgets one by one, but just wanted to show you here like every widget having lot of properties. So how it comes when you will select a widget, then it will show you all the properties in the right hand side or in this panel. So let's say we do have a title here. So title we are showing revenue or we can say Brazil revenue, right? So now it is very clear to everyone. Once I put it a label on this chart, Brazil revenue. So it easy to understand and it labeled now. So if you're having 10 different charts or visualization in this dashboard, as best practices say, your title, font size, subtitle, alignment should be same across the dashboard. Should be consistent. And then here, now this is my bar chart here. So bar chart having different properties. Let me show you all in this bar chart here. So, but there are a lot of properties for each different charts and all widgets, and it's hard to complete in this 1 hour session. But let's see at least for this one. So Brazil revenue. Then we do have title font size. If I can change it to 11, you can see it, the size is decreased, and here I say 20 here. Then we do have subtitle. It comes in a little different color or the fade color. So let's see what should I put it on? Sum of revenue. Then we do have size for this one also. We do have alignment left, center, right. Default theme, dark theme. It changed the bar color. Light theme, it changed the bar color. Default. We do have many others. You can explore it. Bar chart here. So there are actually in this very simple graph here. So all the properties does not make any sense. We'll see in other chart as well. Now this is my number widget. In number widget, we do have again a label. So we can say Brazil revenue. And when we can shorten it here. So it is now very easy to understand 90.5 million here. Okay. And then we have other like for the background colors, border type, we can have different properties here, and all are very useful. And it is like a cosmetic or the decorative changes, we can use these properties here. Okay, so now let's see all the widgets, what does it mean and how we can use it. So we have created one lens here where I have shown a sum of revenue for Brazil here. let me show you for each country here. So we do have something called as bars here. So what is bars and what does it mean here? So it shows you the dimension from your data set and the dates. So if I clicked on this country, so what it is showing here? Before that, it is showing me sum of revenue for all the countries, 1.6 billion.
Hey Abhinav, I think I can't hear you right now. Not sure if that's only me.
Sorry. I was on mute. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay.
You may
So
continue.
I was saying it's like when I grouped on the country, now it is showing me the sum of revenue for each country. So what does it mean grouping here? So grouping means what grouping means from that particular column, Einstein will take or Einstein will capture the unique values from that column and then do the calculation based on what you have selected here, like sum of revenue or average of revenue, whatever. So the grouping means take the unique values from that particular column and respect to those unique values perform the measure or perform the aggregation or calculation based on what on the requirement or what we have done it here. So if I can show you in the Excel file, let's say I have one more column, let's say India, and I have population here. So my total population is 600, right? And when I just wanted to show what is the population for my India and America, so I'll do a grouping on this country. So first Einstein will find, okay, there are two different values or the unique values, India and America. So it will put India and America here. Then what I did, I have given it as like sum of population here, right? So what it does, sum of population. Okay, so my first unique value is India. Okay, now I have India in my different rows. Okay, 100, 300. What is the aggregate function? Sum. 100 plus 300, it will come it as 400 here. Now my second unique value from this country column, America. Okay, America 200. There is no other row for this America. Then it comes to 200. So that is called grouping, and based on the unique values, what our measure calculation or what is the aggregate function we have put it on, the numbers will come respect to each unique values. So similarly, what has happened here? For each unique values, what is the sum of revenue that we are showing it here? So this is my second lens, I would say, right? Now, if I want to clip it, I can click on the Caesar part and I can give name like revenue by country. So now you will see a second lens here in the dashboard, right hand side, revenue by country. So I can drop a chart from here and so now I just wanted to change the chart type here, or I just want to show in different visualization. So once you selected this widget, when you are seeing all these properties, the very first one is chart type here. You can select a column here, it will come in this way. If you select donut, then it will come here. So that's why it is very important to choose correct visualization here. Okay, if we have line, it comes in this way. So what is waterfall? Waterfall, what it shows, first it will show you for each different unique values here, and then in the end it will sum up for all different unique values. So let's say We do have these many countries. So for each country, for Spain, I do have 89 million. For China, I do have 90 million. For the United States, 21 million. And then till this, I am summing up all, which is $1.6 billion. So this is a waterfall chart. And again, every chart having lot of properties here, and those are very important. And like we explore each and every one at least once. Okay, so now let's see quickly see what are the different widgets we do have, because I have to finish a few other points as well. So these are the chart. This is my chart widget first one. So and all these two are the chart widgets where we can show the data in this graphical representation here. My second widget we do have tables here. You can see table. So table is nothing but a format or the view in a Excel way. Or so there is one more way to create a lens from the dashboard itself. If I'll click here, it will open a data set, demo data one. And if I just want to show few only table mode, so this is my chart mode in the lens also. Here is a table mode. I can go here. I can select tables, values tables, right? Now it is showing me uh, my data in the table format. You can filter it out. You can do some calculation if you want. And once we can, so I just wanted to show these many columns done. So the presentation of data in this way. Now again, this table is having different properties here. So like let's say spacing. I just want to put this fit to width. Sorry, fit to widget. So this is my second widget table. Table is nothing but again a data representation in a Excel format or in a very legacy format, or which is coming from last like 10-20 years. This was the only way to represent our data or our reports in Salesforce also generally in this view only. We will see this filter later on. The next one is container. Container is nothing but a box which will contain other widgets. Okay, let me focus on the important one. Uh, the next one is our date widget. Yeah, this one is so date widget. Date widget itself says when we do have a date in our data set, we can showcase in this widget. So if I'll create a lens here, let me create a lens. Or we have seen there is one other way to create a lens over the dashboard directly. So when I pull this widget, I can click on this date. That's it. So now my date is created. I can change the label. So I can say only date here. My fourth one is this link. This is very important one. So what is link? So there are there are four possibilities, or there are four functionalities in this link. So once we'll click on this link, we can see these many properties. So let's say I just want something like when user will click over this link, it will pass me, or it will take the user to the Google page, right? So let me give some label. Go to Google, something like. Okay, and then I'm just taking the URL now. Link to what? Saved lens, saved dashboard, new lens, URL. What does it mean by saved lens? So if you have already saved a lens, you can select and find a lens here. If you have saved dashboard, let's say you have created two dashboard, dashboard one, dashboard two. So once you will click on this tab or on this link widget, and you want to move to the second dashboard, you can select save dashboard and select this one, opportunity analysis. Third way, a new lens. This is like generally for admins, but not for users. And the last one is URL. So like if I'll go with the URL, I'm putting a destination here, google.com. Yeah, right. And then we have a decorative changes here. Textile, what is the color, what is the size, then what is the background color and everything here. So let's see what it does. Now, when I click on this go to Google, it will take me up to the Google here, right? Let me come back to the dashboard. If I want to go to some other dashboard, then again in the property section, I will come here, okay, save dashboard, and I just wanted to route the user to the demo dashboard. Let's change the, so route to demo dashboard here. Once I click on it now, you can see it will take me or it will take user to this demo dashboard. So this is the link widget. Next is picture or image. This is us nothing but you can upload any image from your desktop or from your laptop. This is more kind of when you, let's say you are working for a client, let's say Coca-Cola. So you can put the company logo and you can put it at the top somewhere here. So this is generally we are using images in those scenarios only. Next, we do have numbers. So numbers, we have already seen it here. This is my number widget where I can show a number either in a shortened form or in this way. Depends on the requirement. I can change the revenue. I can change the size as well. So let's say number size, I just want to show a little bigger. So 24. Okay, because user want to focus on the number first. So when, so now we can say 90.5 million for Brazil here. Then this one is range. We can skip it for now. Then we do have text. Text is generally to use as a label. If I'm showing something, or let's say my this dashboard, okay. So this dashboard, it's let's say demo dashboard. So I can put it on the top. Put it on the top, right? In this way. So it's a kind of a banner, or it's when you want to label your dashboard, like opportunity, line items dashboard, revenue dashboard, and then again you have all these three properties: text style, widget style, onboarding. In I think in all the widgets or in all the chart types. So let's say 24 center. I put background color light gray. Border I put it let's say dark gray, and then we do have border width 4, and it will look like this. Then we do have this navigation. Okay, so what is navigation here? So in our PPT, we have seen one thing here. Let me come back to. We do have one rule. Don't try to place all the information in a single way, in a single screen. Let's say. Don't try to place all the information on the same page. So to segregate the KPIs or just to show information accordingly or just to follow this particular rule, we do have this feature called as navigation. And let's see what navigation is. So here we, let's say, here we, let's say these all KPIs with what we are seeing now, it related to revenue. Okay, so let me change the name as revenue details. Then in the same dashboard, I just wanted to show for the sales details also in the same dashboard. So what would I do? Like in the Excel, right? We do have different sheets in dashboard also. So this is my first sheet, untitled. Let me give some logical name. So I'm saying revenue details. Then I just wanted to show some other details. Let's say sales details. So I can put a second sheet or a second page in Einstein and calling it as sales details here. So now this is my second sheet which is blank as of now. So now I can put charts here, depends on the requirement. So let me create one chart. So let me group data on dates this time. I just wanted to show for each year and month. And again, let's show sum of revenue. And as we have seen, like for each month, we are showing the numbers. So use the chart called as timeline here. So it gives us a trend like each month, what is my sum of revenue here. Let me click on done here. So this is my dashboard and let's show revenue by each month. I just labeled it as here. Now what I did here. So and what is navigation widget here? Let's see now. So this is my revenue details and this is my sales details. So I can put this navigation bar on the top. So you can see now I do have these two names which I put it on the sheet name revenue details and sales details. And in sales details also I can put this navigation bar. Let's preview it. So when I just wanted to show the KPIs or data related to sales, I can click on this tab. If I wanted to see my KPIs related to revenue, I will click on revenue and it will take me to this sheet. So these all KPIs related to revenue and this KPI related to sales. So that means don't try to place all the information on the same page and we can achieve this particular or we can follow this rule using this widget called as navigation here. So my all revenue details coming in this way, sales details are in this way. So I know like I've not completed all the things because it's a very limited time and there are many other things to do it. So we have just seen only the widgets, but there are many properties for each widget, and I would urge to everyone just go and explore it. Apart from that, best practices when it comes to the coding part in Einstein, and we are not covering in this series SQL and all. So let me show you a few dashboard where you can relate like what best practices I am referring here. So give me a minute. Can you confirm? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So this is one of the dashboard I have created, and we are calling this performance summary. So this is we are calling it as the layout we are calling it as cards. Okay. So here you can see three different cards. First is for revenue, geography, performance, and products. So in this revenue, I'm showing, you can see now, your important KPI should be highlighted, or whenever you are logging or when you are open the dashboard and you want to focus what is your total revenue. So show it in some bold letters or in some different color where a user can easily find it out what is where the main or the primary KPI resides over the dashboard. Then I do have this chart here at the bottom. Okay, so what is the revenue for each week I have created here? Then, if I wanted to see geography performance, so here I am using the concept of navigation or the rule don't put all the information on the same page, right? So when I click on this view detail, I will see my result or my data related to geography here. So I can see my for United States, I have reached to 92%, for Brazil 78%. For each country, I do have the numbers here. And then if I want to see for the products, then I'll click on this view details and I am having KPIs here. So this UI, the color coding, everything is very important just to make the dashboard interactive and not interactive as well, where it will show the data in the right manner, in the right visualization. And the most important thing, it's very easy to or very in the readable format from the user perspective. It should not be very messy. So these are a few rules I just wanted to mention here. And let me show you what is uh, what I did at the backend just to create this view here. So I have created these three pages here. Revenue, this is geography performance, and this one is product mix. So when we are seeing revenue, my size for this particular card is little bigger compared to these two. And then I do have a chart here. Then on the second one, when I'm on the geography performance, now the card size of geography performance is little bigger comparatively to these two. And the respective KPIs to this geography, I do have at the bottom. And then similarly for the product mix, which is in the page number 3. So this is the navigation part here. Like I have used different sheets. In each sheet, I put it different widgets based on the requirement. And then user is navigating. So user is experiencing or feeling it's like they are moving from one dashboard to another, but it's not happening in reality. So when I'm clicking on this view details, it's coming to here. There are many videos or many different uh, articles where you like admins or the developers use this navigation concept very efficiently or effectively. So let's start the QA session. We are just 5 minutes away. But I would say to everyone, there are many things are yet to complete because it is like very hard to finish it in one hour of session. Uh, but I tried my best to cover up what the best thing I can do it here. Sagar, I'm done.
Thanks, Abhinav. That was really a lovely session, and I too enjoyed it. Learned a lot of new things from it. So we do have a couple of questions in our chat. Um, so first question is how EA is different from MCEA. I think yeah, it's Marketing Cloud EA. They're saying it's from Karthik.
Yeah. So Karthik, it is not at all different actually. The thing is, our marketing cloud org itself is a different org always, right? So for Einstein, the org or from where data is coming does not make any difference. EA just wanted the data, whether it's coming from marketing org, from sales org, or Salesforce org, or like service org, or any other different system. Also, you just bring the data and start creating the dashboard and transforming the data. There is nothing called as EA is different to marketing cloud EA. EA is nothing but just bring the data, transform it, and visualize it. So if you want to bring the data from marketing cloud, then we do have a connector. It's just a point and click. You have to give some properties or your authentication part, which is again a very point and click. And then you can bring the data from your marketing cloud, transform it, use it. Thank you.
Thanks, Abhinav. Yeah. So I think the follow-up question is also answered. Can we see marketing cloud data in EA dashboard? So I think that is also answered here. Okay. So the
Yes.
next question is, I want to upgrade my skills in analytics. Where should I start? Tableau CRM or the only Tableau tool?
uh, I would say like analytics skill. It's as we know, like now Tableau and Einstein is a part of Salesforce, right? So you want to upgrade if you are like already working on EA, then go and start running Tableau. If you already know Tableau, then go for EA. And if you don't know both, I would say go and start first Tableau, then EA. My personal suggestion: first go and learn Tableau, then come to EA.
And do you recommend any way? What will be the possible different ways to, if one
Yeah,
starts his or her journey?
for Tableau, honestly, like I'm not aware much, but for Einstein, we do a lot of sessions are happening. Like we are doing it right away. So register it, attend all these kind of sessions. Other than this, there is a page from Peter Lyons from YouTube. Follow it, view all these videos from it. Just 5 to 8 minutes of videos, but very informative. There's one more colleague or EA expert, Ricky Hofgaard. Follow it, and we do have one URL called as EinsteinAnalyticsLearningMap.com. It is on the Salesforce. So just go through it. It is having almost all the things. EinsteinAnalyticsLearningMap.com.
Thanks, Abhinav. Thanks again. So, guys, with that being said, we have successfully wrapped up our Einstein Analytics series, a series consisting of 3 sessions and awesome speakers, Abhinav and Jashank. So, I really thank you guys for sharing your knowledge with the and making us all grow together. Thank you. Thanks again. And thank you all to all the participants, all the attendees who have joined our sessions. So guys, just bear with me. Meanwhile, you can put your questions in the chat. Let me take you for a 1 or 2 minute of ride with our New Delhi developer group. So the first revival meetup happened in February 2016. These are our Twitter handler and the hashtags, which you will find for Impact Salesforce Saturday, covering all the sessions across the past years we have been doing, and definitely for the futures as well. And our Trailblazer community group URL and our official website as well, where you can find recordings, all our different initiatives, everything you want to we have about New Delhi Developer Group. As well as if you want to be our volunteer, please feel free to join us. There is a link in the website itself through which you can submit your application, and we will be reaching out to you back. Impact Salesforce Saturday is a series of online Salesforce Saturday sessions. As this as you know that we have been organizing sessions on various Einstein niche, say Einstein topic as well as on the other Salesforce niche skills. So all the upcoming sessions and the past sessions are available at our new developer group website, as well as they are available. I've posted the links in the chat as well, so you'll find the chat, all the links and every URL handy in there. Talent Central is our newest initiative, and it is a very powerful platform similar to Naukri.com, Monster.com, or Indeed.com, where if any student, especially in this pandemic situation, is actually looking for a job in Salesforce ecosystem, and every platform has its own, pros and cons, but Talent Central is only specific for the Salesforce ecosystem and only for the student. So please do go ahead, register yourself. We have over 800 students and dozens of HRs currently analyzing and evaluating the candidates. So here is the URL, talentcentralglobal.com. Mentorship Central is one of the oldest, and it's we're really proud from New Delhi Developer Group that we are associated with Mentorship Central, and have been supporting and helping people become mentor and mentee and help each other. If you are looking for someone who has who should carry a specific skill set, and you want to specifically see and then request them to be their mentor, Talent Central is your Mentorship Central is your place. And if you are looking for a lot of mentees, please go ahead and register yourself, and you will receive a lot of requests from mentees, and then you can be a mentor too. Follow us, join us in our various initiatives at New Delhi Developer Group. Here is our URL on the Trailblazer community group and our official website. We are there on the Success Community, Twitter, and hashtag is always Impact Salesforce Saturday. We are on Facebook. We are on Telegram. I posted all the URLs in the chat window as well. So please join us and support us, and do connect with us on our upcoming journey and yours as well. With that, I'm closing today's session. Let me check if we have more questions. Okay. No, we don't have. So thank you. Thanks again. Thank you so much to our awesome speakers and our participants. This has
Yeah.
truly been a great journey, and we look forward to enjoy and for more in future as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And I just wanted to mention one point. If you need any help in EA, kindly reach us out. We would love to help you out in any requirement or in anything. You can post over LinkedIn. You can send up personal messages. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abhinav, once again.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
everyone. Have a
guys.
nice day. Bye bye.